Welcome back to Native Speaker e-learning. Let's have a look at the phrasal verb breakdown. Breakdown has 5 main meanings. It can mean to have a mechanical problem, usually with heavier machinery like cars, motorbikes, trucks. It can mean to start crying due to serious emotional trauma. It can mean to start laughing uncontrollably. It can mean to analyze data in sections. And it can be used as a noun to describe a serious mental health or emotional problem. So 5 different meanings there. Let's have a look at each one. Breakdown, to have a mechanical problem. This is usually with heavier machinery, vehicles and machinery. My car broke down on the way to work, and to add insult to injury, the spare was flat. The spare is the extra wheel you keep at the back of the car in case of emergencies. Flat means it had no air in it. We also use that for fizzy drinks that lose their sparkle. So my car broke down on the way to work, and to add insult to injury, the spare was flat. To add insult to injury means something even worse happened. Mike's motorbike is always breaking down. He should just sell it. My grandfather's tractor has only broken down once, and it was only minor. Minor, of course, is the opposite to major, means nothing serious. Trucks that break down on the highway really should put up safety signs. I was late for class because there was a breakdown on the way to work and all the traffic was backed up. Now, a thing you'll find with many phrasal verbs is that they often create a noun form. So here you see there was a breakdown, and that can mean it was there was something broken down on the highway. Next one we're going to look at is breakdown, which means to start crying due to serious emotional trauma or laugh uncontrollably. So number 2 and 3 I'm going to do together in this one. The woman broke down while being questioned by the police and admitted to murdering her English teacher. They put her away for 100 years, and rightly so. Anybody who murders their English teacher should get life, really. So the woman broke down. This means she started crying due to serious emotional trauma. So of course anybody who murders their English teacher is going to feel extremely guilty. They know how terrible that is. To put someone away for a number of years usually refers to a prison sentence. How long the police put you in prison for. They put her away for 100 years. So that's one meaning for put away. Anyway, let's get on to the next meaning of broke down. When Mark remembered his wonderful English teacher, he broke down and cried his eyes out as he had never paid attention in class. Yes, more serious emotional trauma. The guilt Mark has felt over the years for not paying attention in class has caused a serious emotional trauma, and now he's crying. He's breaking down in class, or he's breaking down because of this. So try to remember that. If you don't pay attention in class, you will suffer many, many years of guilt. I saw an interview on YouTube, and this teacher broke down laughing at a student who made a mistake. And get this, the teacher called him a monkey. Oh my God, well obviously he did. If the silly student couldn't remember something, it's only natural. So I saw an interview on YouTube, and this teacher broke down laughing. So here the speaker is clarifying that it's not crying. He broke down laughing. Could we say he broke down crying if he was sad? Yes, you could. Broke down crying, or broke down in tears, the liquid that comes from your eyes when you're sad. So he broke down laughing at a student who made a mistake, and get this means listen to this. You won't believe this. The teacher called him a monkey. Okay, monkey see, monkey do. Breakdown can also mean to analyze data in sections. Now, could you break down those crime figures by region for me? In this case, crime figures might be the statistics, the national statistics on crime, and a person may want regional breakdown of those figures. So we might see that murders were up by 10% all over the country, but the speaker here may want to know which region there was a greater increase in. I'll need a gender breakdown of the IELTS scores. So here, gender breakdown, always focuses on how many men, how many women. So they'll want to know how many men got a high score, how many men got a low score, how many women got a high score, etc. So I'll need a gender breakdown of the IELTS scores. The teacher broke down the results by class, so the teacher might have had 200 results. The lowest score might have been 6, the highest score might have been 9, and they'll say which class got the highest and lowest scores. We need to break down Barcelona's overall score by player. And there you can see Barcelona's football team scored maybe, 100 goals, and now we want to know which players scored the most goals. So we need to break down Barcelona's overall score by player. You can see here that there's by. Okay, when we come back after the break, we'll be breaking down the election results by city. So when we come back after the break, usually refers to radio or TV presenters who are going to have a commercial break for advertising, and after that we'll be breaking down the election results. So maybe there was election for president, and they'll want to know which cities voted for which candidate. So that's breakdown, which means to analyze data in sections. And lastly, we will look at breakdown for a serious emotional or a mental health problem. Usually used like a noun. Have you seen the movie called Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown? That's a famous Hollywood movie, actually. Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown. I believe it's Antonio Banderas' first movie ever in America, and he couldn't even speak English. So that's Women on the Verge of. On the verge of means almost having. Okay, just about to have. It's very sad, really. The pressure got too much for him, and he had some kind of breakdown. So breakdown again here means a serious mental health problem. I had a breakdown years ago and left the school, all because of my students. So I had a breakdown years ago and left the school. So it means I had a serious mental health problem. And here I've changed breakdown and I've put in the phrase meltdown. And normally these words are put into one word or hyphenated, but I just put them in two parts here for you to see. Melt is the verb of when we heat chocolate and we make it hot and it turns to liquid. That's to melt. Well, sometimes we use that analogy to describe a person's mind or brain just melting. If you could imagine it's chocolate, then the stress of the situation makes it too difficult for the person, and the whole lot melts. So he nearly had a meltdown when he saw all the damage to his house. Meltdown is often used in a rather humorous way, or maybe an insulting way if you didn't like somebody, but you could just use it for, he went bananas, he went nuts. These phrases are often used in a non-serious way to say somebody was really annoyed or was upset by what they saw. So I put in meltdown here. A breakdown would have the same meaning, but just to mix it up a little bit for you and add more value, we've put in meltdown. Okay, so all you need to do is some practice. Get some practice. The very best of luck, and I'll see you next time.